So it is Thursday, Cam.
Yeah.
And with every day that passes, I feel more confident that the 49ers are going to win this game. Partly because everybody else is picking the Chiefs, but partly because I'm spending more time remembering their regular season. They've got 2 weeks to bounce back from what, I think was I'm not going to, you don't call an NFC Championship game win or a divisional round win embarrassing. Not that, but I think awakening, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good one. Or a reminder. A reminder?
Reminder does not feel harsh enough.
Well, the harshness came in the film review, right?
Yeah.
Where the general manager and the defensive coordinator on record that the effort was atrocious and that those responsible have been taken to task.
Yeah.
We got to get to Sunday first. We're not there yet because Kyle Shanahan says we never promised Sunday. But I think this is a pretty good bet. I think that the week's played out pretty well because if the only scandal you have to deal with at Super Bowl week is NFL generated because you have a soft practice field, that's great. Like, you're telling me the wide receivers went out to dinner on the Strip earlier in the week and nobody noticed or busted them, right?
Yeah. And
that they had a great moment of driving by the stadium and realizing how cool that we're here. And I love that. That's a great antidote for the week. About when the Niners were in the Super Bowl in 2012, they were staying in the French Quarter at the New Orleans Marriott, which was a half a block away from the nearest strip club, and guys went to that. And then you were dealing with that story until another scandal surfaced where one of the players said he didn't want any gay players on his team, and that was a major scandal in the middle of Super Bowl week. And then you had
Culliver?
It was Chris Culliver.
Yeah.
And then so he had to come out and be apologetic and all this, therapy and all these things that he was supposed to go through. So it was a weird distraction, and they haven't had that distraction this week. I mean, the only distraction is tell us how good Brock Purdy is. Tell us how good Christian McCaffrey is. Kyle, can you tell us what it was like to lose Super Bowl after Super Bowl that you've been in? That's it.
So what is functionally, like, in what way does this grass issue just fundamentally affect them? Are they did they practice differently?
Well, that was going to be the deal, is whether they get more aggressive on Thursday's practice because that's their full speed. But remember, last week is when they put all this game plan in at full speed on the last Thursday. To me, this is more of the dress rehearsal that you've already know what you're running, so you kind of know where you need a cut on the grass. I guess this is like getting into the weeds of being a football player, I would assume. But it's not like they're on the parking lot at the Holiday Inn in Boardman, Ohio, that Jim Harbaugh was happy to use for a walkthrough practice. They're on a professional, high-grade grass field. It's just a little bit softer than usual. It's only an issue if somebody gets hurt today or leading up to the game.
Well, yeah.
But, okay, and on that point, who would be, really worried about their footing? Eric Armstead, right? He misses, a month and a half of the season because he's got a bad foot. So I asked him yesterday, I go, are you concerned? How curious were you to see about the field? He says, not at all.
Really?
And I said, well, because you have a foot issue. He's like, no, it's fine. I don't think about it. He's like, nothing's going to keep me out of this game. So I'm like, okay. So,
I think receivers would probably be on the list, right?
I would just be worried also just because it's been very wet and cold here that maybe you're going out there and it's slick more so than obviously it's a little soft. But, you're going to be able to play. You have equipment staff that I'm sure has the right cleats for these guys to dig in a little bit harder. But then it trickles down to Brock Purdy and making sure his timing is correct, right, on his throws. You don't want balls hitting the ground during Super Bowl week. You want them right on target where they're supposed to be.
How do you feel about Brock coming into this game? I feel pretty good about him.
The Brock machine?
The Brock machine. Bedcheck Brock. That's my Vegas nickname for him because he's going to bed I don't know what time he's going to bed. But
I think I feel pretty good about it just in terms of that it's not all on his shoulders, whereas if you look at the Chiefs, it's all on Mahomes' shoulders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Brock's very aware of that, knowing that if I follow Shanahan's script and follows the treasure map like that, then he's going to, hit the jackpot in Vegas. But it's not all by himself. He's not a one-armed bandit.
What is going on right now?
Oh, I'm in the Vegas zone.
You're in the zone.
Yes. Hit me.
The question is, can Spagnuolo confuse him?
Absolutely. But he's not like a novice quarterback. He likes the blitzes. He likes to read it. The fact that it's going to be dry, it's not raining, He's already seen this Chiefs defense. He knows where Chris Jones is going to be lining up. Like, I can't imagine Chris Jones going to be bouncing around like Nick Bosa does, right? Like, yes, he can line up on the outside or the inside, but he will know where that guy is. They don't have like 4 elite defensive linemen coming at him. They may have some secondary guy coming off the edge from the slot, which the Ravens did, right? And they timed it up so well. So I'd be a little concerned about that, but I think he learned. Like, Brock's a very good learner, you would hope. So
it's proven to be. I mean,
yeah.
To me, 2 matchups stand out, and it's number 1. It's the Niners' defensive secondary against the Chiefs' skill guys.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs have the advantage because of Mahomes, but they do not have the man-for-man advantage in that matchup. I'm not saying that the Niners have a major advantage, but I think the teams that give Niners problems are teams with blue-chip skill guys.
Which Travis Kelce is.
Travis Kelce
so does
is,
Travis. So it's almost like, does Travis Kelce get?
I think like speed and athleticism. Really
well, I'm concerned about that. Like, to me, that worries me way more than the Niners' run defense, because it's like, okay, like Pacheco's pretty good. He's a hard runner. They say all the right things, but he is not your NFL rushing champion.
Right.
Cam Newton going crazy.
Christian McCaffrey is not Cam Newton.
Yes.
Cam's behind us.
That's what I'm saying. But so I'd be more concerned about like just Mahomes finding that spot in the zone and just shredding. Like, no, he's like, where's Ambry Thomas?
Yeah.
I'm going after number 20. Absolutely. Like, Travarius Ward, I'll pick on you once or twice because I know how you play because I've seen you a lot. And Lenore, he's got that little fiery. He can make a play, but they're not shut down.
Yeah.
So if I'm Mahomes, I'm like, that to me is way like it's always, it starts with stopping the run. That's every game's mantra. Not this game, man.
Well, it's only so you can then pass rush.
I get it, but it doesn't matter. Like, you pass rush, Mahomes still going to escape, and then he's going to find a guy.
Well, I think the one thing the Niners did really well against the Packers, right, is they were really good in the red zone. And if they can, is Andy going to run or throw in the red zone? One thing they've been doing, the Chiefs have been running in the red zone. I think the Chiefs are better off throwing in the red zone in the Super Bowl. I think if they run in the red zone, I think the Niners interior, like the Niners have shown they will bow up a little bit in the red zone against the run.
But they actually have probably the best red zone offense I enjoy watching is watching Andy Reid's.
I know.
He is so.
But he hasn't been messing around in the red zone.
Well, it's lately. The Super Bowl. Wasn't it last year he did like the little ring around the rosy?
Play for like 1908.
Just so fun.
It's like Yale ran this in 1888.
Right. Like we ran this at San Francisco State. This is the Gator special.
I know. Well, that's scary. But I think I'll be interested to see if he goes back to throwing in the red zone. I think that'd be bad for the 49ers. I think him sticking to this thing where he's not getting cute in the red zone and running the ball.
I agree.
While good for like the grand scheme, that's what you should do. It's what I think the Niners are actually better equipped.
Well, they'll run a pick play and just get Kelce open. Like for one split second, Mahomes will know exactly where he's going to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that inside pitch play.
And then cut away to the suite where Taylor Swift's celebrating and.
Doesn't bother me. I don't even care.
He's got to get at least 1 or 2 touchdowns. If the NFL's scripted.
Can he play 4 quarters as hard as he played? That first half against the Ravens was really impressive. But I do think he has to do so much for them. And a lot of it comes like play breaks down, Mahomes finds. You're asking him to do a lot. Now the long halftime helps.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I just think they're asking a lot. Now Mahomes can do a lot.
Yeah.
I just think the path is clearer for the 49ers because I think they check more boxes top to bottom in their roster.
I can't wait to see this. Like the easiest people to pick on the 49ers have been the defensive line, right? Yeah. But effort aside, just who they have, everybody's like, they need to get more out of these guys. And Nick Bosa, what do you think of the offensive tackles? They hold. The stats back it up. They hold. These are not elite offensive tackles. You're going to have a new guard in because their guard got hurt, right? The center's been around for a while, but you've paid Javon Hargrave a lot of money, Eric Armstead a lot of money. You have Nick Bosa making the most money of any defensive lineman, and then you have Chase Young on the other side. This is his final audition to get paid. He just got walloped in the playoffs. He has 2.5 sacks since joining the Niners. I think he knows this is his golden opportunity to make amends for whatever bad film he had on.
But the primary issue with Chase Young is not just effort. He's not good against the run. If you could solve it with just effort, it'd be a different
He's
story.
A step slow almost. He's almost there.
And understandably, he had a major injury early in his career. He's going to make it.
Well,
I'm not – look, I say this if the Super Bowl comes down to Chase Young making a play,
then
they've made other mistakes.
Well, but then you can have him kind of as, okay, you're taking up one guy because we're going to finally blitz somebody through your side. Okay, because they're not going to double your side, pal. So we're going to send somebody free around Chase Young.
They did it last 2 weeks ago with Drake Greenlaw.
That's right. That's right. But they don't do very much.
Well, no, because Kyle told him to cut it out.
Yes, but I mean, and remember, like Nick Bosa, like a few weeks ago, what do you think of your defensive coordinator? Well, I thought he was figuring us out at the start of the year, and what we do here is rush 4.
That was a few months ago. But
it was not a few months. It was like a month ago. Okay. Yeah, no, he like put him on kind of blast going, he learned what we do here, and that's not blitz, which everybody going into this year thought Steve Wilkes was going to blitz more, and he really hasn't. So.
Yeah.
But now's the time to, like, you got to just make sure you disguise it well enough, otherwise Mahomes is going to shred it. So.
The Hufanga loss has hurt him.
Yeah.
Jair Brown going to start this game, you think? He started the NFC Championship game.
I don't know, because I guess so. But I kind of want the savvy veteran. But I don't know if Logan Ryan is going to keep up with the young speedsters.
I don't think the Super Bowl is the time. I think you need the talent.
I think so too.
I mean, Logan Ryan got picked off on that touchdown against the Rams. I mean, the Packers.
Right.
You need the run game support. You need somebody. We're trying to tackle Travis Kelce in space here, right? Because they do the same stuff with him. Like, he'll get into space.
Yeah.
You're going to have to maybe help Laquan Treadwell, a.k.a. MVS, is going to get free for a ball down the sideline. You're going to have to go get him.
Right.
You know, so
you need fresh young legs.
Yeah,
I
think so.
I think you're right.
You changed your mind.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, if it comes down to that, then they're
but that's everything is like that. And then it always comes down to 100 things. It never comes down to one thing.
But that's a really good question.
No Moody kick, that'd be one thing.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. It would be incredible. What a way to start your career.
It would.
I mean, Adam like we were saying earlier, Adam Vinatieri kicking the game winner for Tom Brady's first Super Bowl win at age 24. Yeah. Brock Purdy at age 24.
And Vinatieri made the other earlier in the game, right, in the snow.
Yeah, but I mean, he made the one in the snow a couple weeks before that. And
well, in that game he made 2.
Yeah.
But I think I haven't fact checked this, so I like to tell our listeners and viewers to do their own fact checking. No, I'm kidding. I think Vinatieri had not been hot leading up to that Raider game. I think he'd missed a few kicks leading up to the Tuck Rule game.
And then all he does is make 2 in the snow, and then you're like, then you're the best clutch kicker of all time.
Yeah.
Jake Moody is not that.
Not yet.
He's already missed 2 in the playoffs. You cannot miss kicks in the playoffs.
He's missed here too, but he's also Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
The Senior Bowl was at Allegiant Stadium. He made 2 51-yarders. He was 4 for 4 in the Senior Bowl.
You know, Brock Purdy played here when he was in college.
Really?
Did you know this?
Game?
No, it was not a bowl game. No. It was the start of his senior year. It was like week 3 of his senior year. He was, I'm not going to get the stats right. You're going to have to fact check on your own, like we said. But it was something along the lines, I could look on my phone real quick, but he was like 21 of 24 for 268 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He balled out. They destroyed UNLV like 42-6 or something like that.
I was taking
but
UNLV.
That was here at Allegiant Stadium. Like, nobody's asked him that.
Same locker room?
Yeah.
Locker room.
Oh.
Visiting locker room?
I would assume that they're because UNLV has their own locker room, I think, in that stadium. Yeah. I don't think that they would let. Well, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. He's been on that. He's had success on that. Nick Bosa's had success on that field. Remember, he's the one that forced the interception at the end of the game on New Year's Day, was it? And in overtime, their fourth quarter comeback. But that assured their overtime win. So that was big. So Bosa's had a moment here.
Garoppolo going to be here, you think?
I think he's on Radio Row going everywhere. I'm just kidding. He is so. Have you ever met a more reclusive superstar?
He only comes out once a year to do the thing with his dad. On
CNN. Yes. Skills Tools.
Skills
I went to one of those presentations in San Jose, and met his dad, hung out with the brothers. Asked the brother, I go, you have you were. Jimmy and 3 brothers. What a TV show that would be. I go, somebody. He's like, oh yeah, we've been approached by that. That's not happening. And I'm like, God, that would have been so great because it's like, Jimmy, the cameras are on you. Not on me. No.
That's good.
So,
any other takes you got to get out here before I?
No, you can kick me out.
Should be.
No. What was it? What was our prediction?
I said right now Thursday I'm going 31-24 Niners, which doesn't feel big enough, to be honest. I said 31-21. I'm like, well, I think Kansas City will get they'll get a field goal.
And I picked the Niners, and I have them scoring 29. I mean, they could score. I don't think they're going to score 49 on that defense, right? So I'm thinking 29's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Niners 29 to, what did I say, 26? Yeah, something like it. 29-26.
All right. Thanks, Ken.
Thanks, Guy.
Thank
Okay.
you. No, thank you.
Yes, thank you. This is man-to-man coverage.